Here's why you should upgrade to 32GB of RAM in your gaming PC. So I bought the Corsair Vengeance 32GB DDR4 RAM to replace my 16GB HyperX Fury RAM. Having 32GB of RAM doesn't necessarily increase your FPS, but if you're on 16GB and you play games with a lot of programs in the background such as Discord, Google Chrome, Spotify, or even live streaming, you will notice some dips in your FPS such as stuttering, lack of smoothness, and higher loading times. For example, here's a benchmark of Marvel Rivals on max settings running on 16GB of RAM with Chrome, Discord, Spotify, and OBS running in the background. And here's a benchmark of Marvel Rivals on max settings running on 32GB of RAM with those applications running in the background too. You can see that on 32GB, my PC went over 16GB of RAM. While running the game on 16GB, it may look like it's under 16GB. You can see that the FPS were dropping. So while the FPS average is similar to each other, the minimum FPS is where the biggest difference is. And here's Enzoi, a game I don't think anyone even talks about, running on 32GB of RAM. Now, while there's no benchmark tool in the game, you can see how much RAM is being used, while on 16GB, you can tell by the RAM being bottlenecked because of the CPU usage going up. Now, if you have 16GB of RAM, as long as you're just playing the game and have no programs in the background, you'll be fine. But if you play games while talking to friends, listening to music, and especially live streaming, you're going to need 32GB of RAM. The bad news is that as the time I'm making this video, RAM prices are extremely expensive. So please do your research and find the best deal on upgrading your RAM.